Dixie Decker here. Hey, let's talk about operations and employees real quick. So one of my most favorite tools to utilize when you're hiring someone is do your Zoom call or your interview, your in-person interview, whatever you call that. So I just actually got done hiring someone, and I did one of them was an in-person interview, another one was from afar, so I did a Zoom call, and that was super successful. But what my next step was, and I think this is the piece that a lot of us are so I call it commitment phobia, is you're afraid to hire off of that interview because they're so short. Like, how do you really know what this person's active action-taking skills are? Because again, they're just telling you about themselves, or maybe you've questioned them and kind of gave them some challenges to overcome verbally. But my favorite piece between the actual hiring and the interview is to do a working interview. So I always ask them, and I pay for the working interview, but I always ask them, like, hey, could you come in for a couple hours on such and such date? And I may do that with 2 or 3 different people before I actually pick that person. And they may work with one of your other staff members. They may work with you. It depends on how you're set up in your business, whether you're starting out or you've already delegated people underneath you, that kind of thing. But the working interview tells so much about somebody's personality, their culture, just their attitude. And especially if you're hiring for a personal assistant type position, you spend a lot of time with that person, and you want to make sure, you know, that mojo is there. So I love to do my interview up front. I call it the paper interview, and then I like to do a working interview and then make my decision after that. And I always pay for the working interview. So take that as a little tool for you. You can do this with virtual people. You can do this with your real people in your office. You can do this with virtual people that just work from home. So to me, there's virtual people out of the country. There's people that work from home, and then there's your staff in office. And so far to date, my working interviews have weeded out people who just like came in to do the job, and they're like, you know, it's not quite what I thought it was gonna be. I'm not sure this is where I wanna be. Or I've just said, you know, I don't know that that's a personality I want to work aside. And so take that little piece and incorporate it into your next hire, a working interview. It can be 2 to 3 hours. It can be a whole day. You choose, and I always make them do actual tasks they're going to be doing with me. So take that piece and incorporate it. Let me know how it works out.